everyone, and welcome to English 1302. I realize that by now, if you're watching this video, you have navigated at least to a couple of places in our Blackboard class, but I wanted just to go over a little bit with you and hit some of the highlights that I think are very important. First off, please join Remind. The information to remind is here in the welcome part where you found the video. Right above that, you see this remind information. Please join Remind. If you have a question during the semester and it's 8 o'clock at night and you just need one little answer and it'll help you finish your assignment for that day, don't send me a message on Blackboard because I may not be on Blackboard to check it. If you send me an email, I'll probably see it within the hour. But if you send me a remind message, it will instantly go to my phone. It'll sound like a text message to me. I'll look at it and I'll quickly respond to you. I promise you, Remind is the place to go if you have a question about anything in the course. If you want to send me an email, make sure you send it from your KC student email account. If you send me a message on Blackboard, I will get it, but I probably won't get it for another 24 hours because the only way I am notified of the message on Blackboard is if I actually log into Blackboard and see right here where it says messages, and I'll see that you have sent me something. Otherwise, though, I may not see that, okay? A couple of things I want to make sure that you take note of. You are guaranteed tutor for this course, whether it's studying for a grammar test or getting your first essay polished and revised. You have two ways that you can get a tutor. One is the KC Writing Studio, and I have created a link right here to that. If you cannot physically go to our library and go during the KC Writing Studio hours, you can also still sign up for a phone tutoring session with them. You will share, maybe it's your essay with that tutor, and she or he will go over it with you on the phone. Or you can log into tutor.com. To log in, you simply click here on tutor.com. It will take you to it. If you go to a URL and just type in tutor.com, it doesn't know who you are. But if you click right here in the Start Here folder, it'll automatically log you in. You get 4 hours a semester per core course that you are in. So let's say you're in a history course, but you don't need any help with that one. You can use those 4 hours for this class as well. So you could technically get 8 hours. But wonderful tools for you to help you be successful. All right, let's go and look at the syllabus. So to find the syllabus, you'll go to the Start Here tab, click on this, and then you can download the syllabus right here. I'm going to just hit some highlights. I'm not going to go through it all with you, but I wanted to cover some of the more important aspects of the course. My office is in Old Main, 126. If you need to come see me, here are the times that I'm there. You may also want to just make sure I'm there during those times because occasionally if I have another appointment, I may not be in the office during that time. I'm also the assistant department chair, so I have some obligations with that title as well. Let's see. Textbook. You do not have a textbook. Your course is all online, and so all of your literature, whether it's short stories, poetry, or drama, is going to be found online. Each unit, I will have a folder open that gives you the links to the particular pieces of literature that we'll be reading. So that should save you some money, not having to purchase a textbook. In addition, you do not have to purchase the MLA handbook. The link to the handbook is right here through the OWL Purdue, which is the online writing lab at Purdue, and every information that you might need about MLA is going to be there as well. The grading of our course, 25% are your daily grades. That will be your reading quizzes, your quizzes over the literary terms, your classroom discussions, and any kind of just short exercises that we do in the course. Those will be 25% of your overall average. Your major grades, which are your short story analysis, your unit test, short story test, the poetry test, poetry forms project, A couple of other major assignments will be 30% of your grade. Your research paper, very important. It's one assignment, but it is 1/4 of your overall average. It is 25%. So we will be completing that during the poetry unit a little bit later in the semester. So try to stay motivated because that paper, again, is 25% of your overall average. We will spend at least 3 weeks on that paper. So it's not something that I give you an assignment you've got to do in a few days. It's important, so I've stretched it out. And then your final exam is 20% of your grade. Your short story test, your poetry unit test, and your final exam all have to be completed with a proctor. And I have chosen to use Respondus, which is the Respondus Lockdown, which is just something you download to your computer. It is not difficult, but you also must have a webcam because it's a monitored test. So if you don't have a laptop or a computer with a webcam, make arrangements to either borrow someone's or go to the library and use one of their computers where you can have a webcam. Most laptops have it, in the actual laptop, but if you have a fairly older laptop or just one that didn't have a webcam, make sure you make arrangements for that. You can read through some of the other important things. Let me hit AI a little bit. I understand that AI is accessible, it's useful. I have used AI many times. I'm not saying it's something that you cannot use in my course. However, the instructions for the essays are very thorough and they are very organized into a certain outline. If you turn in a 12 paragraph essay and I have required you to do a 5 paragraph or a 7 paragraph essay, then that's a red flag for me already. So make sure that you follow through those instructions closely. Use AI to help you with understanding what a short story is saying or to get a good summary of a short story after you've read it. But don't use AI to do your own writing for you. You may want to use it to say, oh, I've got these really good ideas. How can I reword it? That's okay. Here and there, having a sentence or two to kind of polish your writing. That's what AI is for. It is not a cheat method for you to wait till the last minute and plug in a prompt and boom, the paper's written for you. You're not going to get anything out of it. And I certainly am going to have red flags when I'm not that young, but I can fairly I kind of pride myself. I can pick up on whether a student has written AI. The discussions in this course are not meant to be formal. So if I ask you, which was your favorite short story, and you give me some formalistic analysis of a short story, that's a red flag for me. I have software that can detect AI, and I'll use it if I am suspicious. But if you just say my favorite short story was A Rose for Emily because the ending really shocked me, and I really liked the way Faulkner used foreshadowing. I'm not going to think that's AI. But if it's some philosophical and it just comes off from left field and it doesn't really follow the prompt, that kind of gives me a warning that hang on, something's going on here. The discussion boards are not meant to be difficult. They're meant to be for you just to kind of interact with each other since this is an online course. So again, don't use AI for the discussions. It's not going to help you out. And again, I'm a pretty good judge of whether something is written by a student or AI. I don't accept late work. Now, if you see, something, you look in your calendar like, oh, wait a minute, my mom's going to have surgery on this day, either plan ahead and get it done ahead of time, or send me an email or a message on Remind and say, hey, Miss Truman, I'm sorry, I had an emergency. Can I have a day or two extension? A day or two extension is much better than you just getting a zero. So if you see foreshadowing ahead of something that's going to be a conflict of when an assignment is due, and it shouldn't happen more than once, maybe twice at the most in a semester, since it's only 8 weeks. We don't have that many emergencies that pop up in our lives. But just stay in contact with me. I'm not here to fail you. I'm here to help you be successful. So don't be scared to reach out when you have a question about an assignment, because I'd rather you ask me about an assignment and say, oh, yeah, this is what I mean, because maybe you didn't understand the directions. Look at the comments that I give on your feedback. For example, if you are submitting a thesis statement and I give you feedback and say, hey, I don't think you read the instructions. Here they are again, or that looks good. How about this? If you turn in your essay and I obviously see that you didn't even look at my comments, then that's a way for me to kind of say, okay, wait a minute. Is this student really concerned about his or her assignments? Look at your feedback, look at your comments. I'm here to help you. Okay. All right. I think you can read through the rest of the syllabus, but I do have some good phone numbers. Of course, 903-988-7522 help desk. That's our most favorite one, especially with all of the technology issues. But there's information on here as well about our learning outcomes and our core objectives that are important to this course. All right. So let's go now to our content. And you can see that I've opened up 2 units. That's 2 weeks. That's helpful for y'all that maybe want to get a head start next weekend and you've already got everything done for unit 1. You're like, well, I wish I could start on unit 2. I'll usually open up the next unit a couple of days in advance. This first time I decided to do 2 weeks open as well. All right. If you look at the unit 1, you'll see that you have a checklist. If you open the checklist, this is the 11 things that you have to complete this week. Now, you may say, Ms. Truman, 11 things, that's a lot. Yes, but they're very short quizzes. So like this plot notes quiz, it's like 10 questions, maybe even 5 questions sometimes. So these are short, okay? Look at the checklist each time. Like I said, if you go here to where it says short stories for unit 1, that's where all of the literature is. So the 3 short stories that we're going to read are right here. All the quizzes are here. So make sure that you are opening up each folder in each unit to see the full information. Right here where it says videos and notes, this is where the videos and the notes are. So if you open up plot video, you will see that you've got a short lecture video of me talking, but you can also download the PowerPoints. And most all of the units will be that way. Anytime we have a literary element, you'll see a video and notes, or at least a PowerPoint over it. Again, feel free to message me if you have any questions, but primarily the first thing you need to do, go here to the Start Here folder, open up the Welcome folder, and join Remind.